in my personal experience and in the culture, I saw this weird shift. So in my personal experience, when I was in that university, when I was being for gay rights, for the rights of ethnic minorities and everything else, that was fine. But I set up a Muay Thai society, the first Muay Thai society at Aston University. If you enjoy that Muay Thai society at Aston, it took me a fucking year to get that done. And I had to go through Stalinist-style trials to get it done. I think I told you this story. Like, they were accusing me of bringing toxic masculinity to the campus. And literally trials where I sat in a room with a panel of 12, an all-female panel that had my ex-girlfriend on it. Of course it did. She'd turned gay. Her gay friends were on it. And I'm looking at people with pierced septums, blue hair, blah, 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 this, that, you know. These are not the hot, popular girls at university. And I'm there being a toxically masculine white male trying to bring Muay Thai to the university. And they went after me. Like, personally, I had to do that 3 times. And I was so dumb. I just kept asking. I was like, I've read the rules of setting up a society in the guild. These are the 5 steps. I've done them all. Let us train here. I have the instructor who's a really good instructor. Why the fuck won't you let me train here? We'd have these mad conversations where they'd be like, Muay Thai is violence and we don't want violence here. I'm like, this is Birmingham in the 90s. Birmingham is a rough city. It's not known for being particularly rough. But there were fights everywhere and students were getting battered. And I was like, not only is our guy a Muay Thai instructor, he's a world-class self-defense instructor. The students need this. It's good for the campus. It's good for the guild. You're talking about toxic masculinity. You let the rugby team trash the fucking guild bar every week. And you have a budget for it. They even have a budget, knowing that these drunk rugby players are going to break tables. But I'm the toxically masculine one. So this is fucking insane. And that was, I won eventually. It's a boring story, but eventually I got my Muay Thai society. It was hugely popular, did really, really well. And I believe it's still going to this day. But whilst that was going on, 97, 98, 99, I saw in mainstream culture something weird was happening where we were moving from bullying ethnic minorities is bad. We'd all seen Mississippi burning. We'd all watched Schindler's List. The genocide in Bosnia had just happened. And we were all on the same page. Like, this is wrong. You shouldn't target an ethnic minority and fucking kill them. Okay, it's pretty easy. You shouldn't beat up women for being women. You shouldn't beat up gays for being gays. You should let people live their lives. And it was, let people live their lives. And then that shifted to attack people in positions of power. And I was like, well, wait a fucking second now. How are you defining that? By their skin color. And I was like, but we just said don't do that. And in my, beyond the Muay Thai thing, this was my final year after I wrote my final dissertation. And I was in a class, it was a module on feminism. And this totally insane psychopath, I now realize, it was a big, big dude. Not a violent guy, but hugely built, gay, white dude. Took over, I think it was a small lecture. There was about 15 of us in it. And he went through everybody in the room and he was like, I'm damned because I'm gay. You're damned because you're black. You're damned, literally, like, and nobody stopped him. The teacher didn't stop him. And then he came to me and he was like, but you are the worst piece of shit in here because you are a straight white man. And I'm just like, what? Brothers and sisters, I thought we were on the same side. So I could see this move from, like, Douglas Murray says this. It was like we had a battle, we won it. Like, we killed the enemies. Like, you couldn't, anybody who stood up and said, beat up gay people, fuck the puffs, annihilated. Anybody who was like, I don't like Pakistanis, blah, 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 beat them up, annihilated, silenced. It was done. And then instead of going, well done, chaps and chapettes, that was good. We then turned on ourselves, which was, sorry, it's a long-winded way of answering that question. I think it was around that time, but that could just be my bullshit subjective experience. But if you look culturally, there are other markers of that. The last point I would make, just to try and reinforce this, there was a series that came out called Queer as Folk. Charlie Hunnam, who played Jax in the motorcycle thing, and the dude who played Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. He's an older man with an underage boyfriend. And it was graphic. There were graphic gay sex scenes in this. There was a scene of, I think Charlie Hunnam gets cum on his face. And this was Channel 4. It's like 9 o'clock it's the UK. It's 1997. And this underage boy has cum on his face from his this older daddy gay lover. And I was watching this and I was like, because I was all for it. Okay, so there's a TV show about gay people. It's for gay people, by gay people. Right on, let's go. And then I watched it and I was like, hang on a minute. I'm straight. There's no shows like this where you would, an underage girl would be come on by her, like she's 17 or whatever Charlie Hunnam was, and the boyfriend is 28 and he comes on her face and you show the cum. You don't see like genitals, but you saw the cum hit his face. So there's no way that would happen. And I was still only young, but I could just feel this break. Like we were moving in a weird direction where that which we had said was disempowered and was below everything else was clearly empowered. And in some ways was not only disempowered, it was more powerful than everything else. So yeah, I would say late 90s, I think was the shift. And then it progressed from there. After that, there were more and more students. So you have more and more people sort of who are open to this, people like me. And then it just became where we are today. I think it just grew from there.